Welcome to this episode of Shift. I'm your host, Palmonia Gordon. Thank you for joining us today. We're talking about one word: family. Oh my gosh, I felt it. Some of you took a deep breath. Some of you go, okay, I'm not listening to this one. Family can be a great place for some people, it can be a trying place for others. But the truth of the matter is, it's a part of who we are, it's a part of our DNA. And we just want to spend a little bit of time today and just take a look at it in a different way and to help you shift. And as you know, shift is simply helping individual to find their true passion, their true purpose, their true talents. And we do it through sharing our stories, our thoughts, our ideas, by coming together and just keeping it real. Whatever you like, whatever you experience, I'd love for you to comment, like, subscribe below. Let us know how Shift is working for you. Now, a family, according to the Webster Encyclopedia, yeah, I still use books, is a group of people related to each other by blood or marriage. And I can even extend that and say it's just a group of people that are related to each other by choice. I have a young lady that she's 16, turned sweet 16, and she's my daughter. And my youngest, my 6 and my 7-year-old, they'll act to say to her, hey, mama, we're going to go look to my sister. We went to go look for her recently for her 16th birthday. And I was like, how is she our sister? You know, how are we related? So we can become family by choice, by choosing, by adoption, whether a paper was signed legally or just being adopted in because of love, because of situation, because of circumstances. So it's the typical description for a family is usually described as an extended or large relative living together in close contact with each other, and or nuclear. Nuclear means it's just one unit, means a mom, a dad, and kids. The extended kid have generations. It could be people who are closely related or distantly related, but because of financial or circumstances or even for security, that they are living together. So with that, my question to you is, what's your family like? Oh, and before I even go there, thank you for being a part of this Shift family. Yes, even that too is a family. It's a community that bonds together. I think that's the best way I would describe a family. A community that bonds together, whether for situations, circumstances, for encouragement, for finance, just for mentorship, whatever it is, you find yourself in different groups. They ultimately become a part of your family because you share a part of who you are with them. Family, when I looked up the word, there's I think a Hebrew word, shifka, Shifkhaw. I hope I pronounce it properly, so all you people forgive me. It actually means spread out. That's the Hebrew word for family. It means to spread out. And that's what we do as a family, which is why when we have children, they go out and they spread out. They want to, plant their trees and their roots elsewhere, right? I am also known as the acronym lady. Sorry for shaking you all up a little bit. So I like to take the words, I like to break it down in an acronym and put it into context. So family, I have as your first and most impactful impression of how to love yourself. Did anybody say ow? Because I did. Family is your first and most impactful impression of how to love yourself. What is your family relationship like? What do you remember? What do you as an individual fight against now? I know people that refuse to do certain things because my family did this. And it's not always that it's a bad thing, but their experience may be such that, you know what, I won't even consider it at all. And that's the sort of the bad side of a family, that sometimes we can go through experiences that totally warped who we are, who we're supposed to be, that we have to struggle and fight that much more to come into that, to, can I say shift into that new space. Then on the other hand, we have those of us that, oh my goodness, especially if you go with a grandmother, especially, sorry guys, no disrespect, but I have found that a lot of the guys that grow with their grandmother, man, they are like spoiled. But again, what was the experience? How did you feel? How were you treated? And we will look at people sometimes, and we may judge, or we may assume or think we know all, and it's a bigger thing. Like the word family means to spread out. So until you spread right out and see where the root of some of the things come from, you can't understand. I remember my mom, and she said, what my oldest sister, thought my mom loved two of the others more than she did her. And I remember when I asked my mom about it, because I'm the one, I have a thought in my head. I like to kind of get it out. And I go, Mom, why did she say this? And she goes, it's not that I loved them more, but sometimes in life, depending on where you are as an individual, and somebody comes along and kind of shift you, and especially if the shift is to a better place, ultimately, because you are in a better place, you are able to do things differently than you were able to do back then. So the person that was with you back then, their thought become, oh, she treating them better than she treat me, but she wasn't at that place to treat you the way she would have wanted to. And now because she's here and she has the opportunity. So these are some of the stories that I keep, that I bear in mind. One of my spiritual mom, my best friend's mom, and one of her thing is, you don't always treat people the way they deserve. Because as we know, and as we go through stuff, our minds sometimes will go off. Because there may be things or a situation happening, and you may go past someone, just walk past innocently, not recognize, and someone may get upset. Oh, Palmonia walked past me and she didn't say hi. But what I love about family, I love you no matter who you are. I love you whether or not you love me back, because that's my choice. And that's what I want to encourage my family on Shift to do today. I know for many of you, it is going to take a shift and a couple of shifts to get to that place. But why I'm encouraging you to shift, the 60 tiny moves, is that by you shifting into a place where you are surrounded by love, you actually elevate yourself. Because when you choose to hold anger and hate and animosity, you are actually suppressing yourself from growing fully, and unconsciously, you have become the very thing that you hate, or the very thing you don't like, or the very thing you don't like to be around. So by simply making a shift and a choice, by loving, you have already stepped out and above. Thank you for joining me on this episode. Family, your first impression of how you should love yourself. If you don't like the first impression that you were given, recreate it. Shift into the person that you know you are supposed to be, so that you can teach your children and those who come around you from here on in that this is the real you. comment, like, subscribe, and see you on the next episode of Shift. Simply helping individuals to find their true passion, their true talent, their true purpose through thoughts, stories, being together. I love you. Bye.